especially in the T20 format, coming off the back of an 84 or 42 balls against Croatia. That was in the final group game of their sub-regional T20 World Cup qualifiers. That was also on a day where the entire top four all got half centuries. Guj also made 58 off 29 in that game. That was not the previous game, but the game before here for Jersey. Seem to be friendly with all the players here, Kazim.
Seen him around a few times. Yeah. A gentle hello wave. Doesn't go miss.
Just a polite man. Bim Sharkey's just come out towards long on just in front of us. So that is the end of the power play, everybody. 45 for none. Jersey will be very, very happy with this start. And Guj getting underway early to third over from Lalit Rajbanshi. So that is the end of the power play, everybody. 45 for none. Jersey will be very, very happy with this start. Big appeal. It's the reverse sweep. Looks to have got Guj outside the line of off stump. Not a bad play when we've got this angle from left arm round the wicket.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. He's looking to be creative and inventive out there, really putting the pressure back on to the bowler. As you can see, the fielders have spread out, so there's a few more gaps to play with.
It's a nice whip of the wrist there through square leg as Guj gets to the non-striker's end. As the power play goes, Jersey will be very happy with this, won't they?
Yeah, very content. I think that's a really good start, solid start from if you're making constant, comparisons in terms of what we've seen in the first game. But overall, new day, fresh challenge. 46 after 10 overs for no wickets lost, which is really important.
Just building on that reverse sweep from Guj we saw a moment ago. There is a gap down there. Short third man is slightly wide. And what you'll see from him is Guj just trying to get that front pad well outside the line of off stump so that the umpire can't possibly give him LBW.
The slight challenge you have is that's the best fielder on the pitch.
It's not your man Array, is it?
It is indeed. So he's known around the world for his fielding credentials. Obviously a great batter, great all-rounder, great bowler, but his fielding is absolutely fantastic.
Carline plays it with caution as that ends the over. A good 1-2. He has been very impressive so far this morning. We queried slightly the fact he was brought on so early in the game, but he's been very impressive. His 3 overs have gone just for 7 runs and very, very rarely giving the Jersey opening batters a ball to hit. 46 for none.
Good solid start. 11 overs gone, 46 for none. Good solid start from both teams, I reckon. I think they've both come out with different plans. They're trying, obviously Nepal trying to get through different bowlers in different stages of the game to see whether they spin early doors. Good solid start from the Jersey guys. As we can see the scorecard there. Harrison 23 not out from the 37 balls, looks solid so far, capitalised on anything short. Patrick Guj, who's equally supported him from the opposite end, 22 from the 29 deliveries, has looked in good spirits today as he sets up to face Karen KC, who's bowled his 2 overs.
Nice shot from Guj. Well, you with no run though. And Karen KC, who we were pretty impressed with in the first game. He had the unenviable task of holding up an end whilst Hemant Dami had all the success from the far end with the new ball spell on Monday.
Do you think this is the reason why he's come up from the other end?
Wanted a taste of the action. Swinging in there at the pads, bringing the stumps into play, but Googe in his busy style scampers up to the non-striker's end for a single. So very good opening partnership, just 3 away from that 50 mark now. And what I've been so impressed with is there's been far fewer searching shots. On Monday we saw players search for boundaries at times. That one scuttles and moves away as well. Good take behind the wickets. Looks like there's a little bit of varying of bounce and pace on this deck, and the two batters are playing it well so far.
Yeah, they're riding it out at the moment, and that's not what you want to see from a batting perspective. Two pace, two different sort of bounces coming on. Obviously, from a bowling point of view, you know, it's a good sign, and you want to keep that as straight as possible. But yeah, I got to agree with you. Jersey have done fantastic. They've really homed in on their skills this morning. The two batters have made some excellent decisions, good cricketing decisions, and they've been really clinical.
Carline gives a rash shot as Yadav steams in from fine leg. They get back for a second run. The opening pair. Potentially a little bit of frustration, or is this just Carline trying to remain positive and look for almost to get the pressure back on the bowl?
I think you might have heard me on commentary. No, I think it could be a double ploy. You're right. It could be a little bit of frustration there. Maybe the ball before's playing up on the mind, which potentially could be from a batting perspective, but not a bad ploy to run down the ground and see if you can hit it over mid-off.
Just bringing the outside edge of Carline's back. That's what Karen KC can bring. As the 50 partnership is up for these two. It's been a solid start to this game.
It has, and I'm sure the management team are ticking the box for the first 50 has definitely come to Jersey. I think that's a really solid start, and they've looked good. They've tried to put the bowlers off the line and lengths. They've been very clinical in their decisions, when to play, when not to play, and they've capitalised on anything that's short and wide.
There's a short and wide ball. It's been put away. With brilliant style from Patrick Googe. Picked up on it so early and skipped it away to the boundary.
Impressive cricket shot, and you know, swiveled on it, helped it along its way to fine leg, but with some real intent. Interesting question here to Nepal now. They've got to find a way on how they're going to break this little partnership that's coming along. The danger is you let these two batters settle in really well, that they go on and kick on and get a big score, which sets a platform up before the halfway point. So you're going to have to find a wicket somewhere.
It's important to remember, as you mentioned, that despite this being almost a bit of a warm-up for Nepal for their fixtures to come, actually it's an incredibly important game for them, and one they'd want to win. Jersey is as being seen as the underdogs coming into this one. They'll be looking to show up Nepal and get a good win here on home soil. But Gulshan Jar is going to come onto the bowling. Enough spin now from the pavilion end, and a good spell from Lalit Rajbanshi comes to an end. What do you know about Gulshan Jar?
Good quality cricketer, good all-rounder, fierce batter, but he can do a job with the ball as well, and I'm sure he's another one of the seamers who's going to be looking to attack the stumps, cause a little bit of trouble with the variation. Looks a strong cricketer.
Well, let's see what he can offer. Pulls out of that delivery, just honing in his run-up.
No, that's from...
He's just building it up, Kaz. He's just building up the tension. He knows what he's doing. Carline's got a little bit more time to think about this first delivery.
did get a big gush of wind coming through as he was just about to go past the umpire. So maybe that's just put him off his rhythm as he's about to attack the crease.
He'll have to get used to it. The crease coming across the ground. He starts well, and Carline plays him equally well down towards third man. And that's a shot I like to see. It's a shot I've been impressed with from the Jersey batters. And whilst Nepal was so good at building up that pressure, joining the dots in the first game, actually Nepal haven't bowled much worse, but it's bowls like that which are on a good length, and Jersey have been able to manipulate them for singles.
Yeah, you want to keep ticking over the scoreboard no matter how it comes, but you want to be in control of that as well. And there is a big gap between sort of backward point and the keeper. There's no slip in play, there's no gully in play. So with a seamer ball in you, sort of good lengths outside of stump, almost your fifth and sixth stump, it's not a bad ploy to run it down to third man, get off strike. It'll be interesting to see how that happens.
A sign there of Gooch really going after a wide one, going out with hard hands, almost because, as you mentioned, because of that lack of slip, gully, a catcher in the third man area. Yes, there's a man out on the boundary, but it allows the batter to really throw the hands hard at it, and he'd be unlucky to get caught behind of a fine edge, going at it with hard hands. But here's Gulshan Jar. Brilliant stop at backward point from Arif Sheikh. Prevents the two.
I just think with this type of ball and this type of pace, but also this type of line and length, he's a quality bowler with a strong action, and he's looking to hit the deck hard. I would probably just like to see somebody just in that gully region, really tighten up that gap.
Almost just add a second thought into the batter's brain.
Yeah, but also, if he's looking to bowl that fifth stump line, he's not going to hit it down deep square.
And it has been a show of what Nepal have been brilliant at over the last few days, is bowling to a plan. It doesn't really feel like there's much of a plan in place at the minute, especially early doors in their bowling innings on Monday. It was their ability to bowl to a 7-2 field, keep it outside that off stump and not give anything away.
Yeah, the fact that the 6 down in a matter of 20-30 minutes kind of helped the cause, but it was an attacking field with excellent relentless bowling coming on, so you want to continue doing that as much as possible.
Good shot for no run there.
Yeah, great, a good shot for no run there, well fielded by that man himself, who's looking to throw at the non-striker's end. But Bimmel, who stood at mid-on, just slightly out of place, and I don't think he would have got there with the rocket arm of Dipendra. That might have been going for extra runs.
Ooh, quick bouncer. Wide given. He looks incredibly unimpressed with that one. But a well-targeted short delivery that looks like it brings a good amount of pace, skidding off this surface. And it's actually the end where we saw Julius Samaroa bowl with brilliant pace and bounce. And Gulshan's Jar is showing a sign of it again here.
Yeah, and as I expressed before, he has got a strong action. He does hit the crease hard. He's got a lovely rhythmic approach to it. But there is a strong bowling action. Once he hits that front foot, really comes down with a hard length delivery.
As Jersey tick along once more. Two batters that are easy on the eye. but very different style of batter. We've got the more brute power boundary hitting Carline, and then we've got the manipulation and the almost scoreboard ticking style of batter of Patrick Gooch. They're playing very well in tandem, and their partnership sits at 58 for 9 at the end of the 13th.
Is that a similar approach to the Duckett and Gate era? Is this?
I guess so. They're almost slightly different in terms of almost opposite in stature wise.
Yeah.
But yeah, Duckett is more that aggressive style of batter, and Gade the more traditional. Whereas I wouldn't argue either of these two are traditional opening batters. They're almost two that would also settle quite nicely into the middle order.
Yeah, they've done well. Good platform for Jersey. They've really looked to see out the new ball from both sides. Lots of changes going on from the Nepal bowling team. As we see another change from the deep end as Nandan Yadav, the number 22, comes on to bowl. Another strong seam bowler who's got a lovely rhythmic action, quite high in his approach with a little jump, vertical jump. He's got a great approach. Be interesting to see how he extracts anything off the pitch.
Shooting low once more from the surface. We've mentioned it a few times, but on the whole, this pitch is a great one-day wicket. It's offering enough for bat and ball. We've seen balls whiz past the outside edge, and we've seen balls clatter away to the boundary. Feels like there's a lot on offer for both departments.
Yeah, and credit goes to the ground staff here. They've done really well to maintain the same wicket as well. Great cricket wicket. I think there's a lot to offer. There's something for everybody there.
Yadav gets one to tail back in. And Gooch, I think, thought there might have been a fielder in the ring there because he sprinted to the non-striker's end as if a throw was about to come in. Literally, no, actually a 2 was on offer.
And I think it was Harrison who was looking for the 2,
Yeah.
turned around looking for the 2, only to see his partner 20 metres past the umpire, who wasn't interested at all.
Must say, I'm really enjoying watching Gooch go about his business today.
Yeah, he's looked strong. He's looked good, and it'll be a real confidence booster for him as well. 29 of 36. He's played really well. Played the short ball really well.
Carline just punching it, timing it away through the point area. Picked up by Isham Pandey. My style of cricketer is Gooch. Looking for singles off the good deliveries. Where can he find the next run? Wide gap between mid-on and the keeper. 2 deep fielders. Square leg and fine leg. There's Nandan Yadav. Thinks about the way that he can take his next wicket. No real catcher in. Mid-wicket is now into cover up the mid-wicket gap. Gooch gets on top of it. Finds another single in the leg side. So, former head coach of Q8 Kaz. Let's say you've drinks break, few overs away now. What would you be telling your players from a fielding point of view with the opening batters having a good stand on?
I'd be looking to obviously instill confidence as much as possible because the body language has just dropped a little bit. Second thing is from a bowling perspective, I'd probably like to see my spinners coming on from the current end and the seamers coming on from this end. And if anything, trying to just be a little bit tighter inside the ring to just create a moment of brilliance. got to find a way to take a wicket, whether that's a run out, a catch in the deep, a mistake from the batters. But one thing is definitely for sure, there can't be any width on offer. From a bowling perspective, you've just got to be a little bit tighter for me, and not give any cheap runs away. Because once you break this partnership, potentially could bring a second batter in play. As we see the bowling card there, lots of changes. You can see the Nepal guys ringing the changes. Everyone's bowled 3 overs apart from the 2 lads bowling now, Gulshan Jha and Nandan Yadav. 3 for 21 from Karan KC. Of his 3 overs, 3 overs gone for Lalit, who's also gone for 7, who's been probably the most economical bowler, I say. And the 2 opening bowlers, Sampal Kami and Hamad
Dami, yeah, they bowled well in Tan, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And from Jersey's perspective, this is, the last over, that was Gulshan's first over against him, so they probably wouldn't have faced him or seen him before. They've probably seen a lot of videos of him, but you can see he's got a very different approach, a little bit taller than Sampal. Looks to hit the deck harder, so the bounce is coming harder and hitting the spice of the bat harder. Poses different threats and different challenges.
Shah looks like he's coming in with some good pace here. Goose just looks slightly jumpy, almost as if the pace is a little bit quicker than we've seen it elsewhere today. But Goose remaining firm. He's on 30 now, same as Carline, 62 for now.
Yes, strong position at the crease, but I'm really impressed with Gulshan. He's really putting some effort into these deliveries, and you can see he's probably been the quickest on shore so far from all the bowlers, all the fast bowlers.
I wonder if at some point we might see Jha really pitch one up towards the stumps. This one is short out towards mid-wicket. Picked up on it quickly there, the Googe, and looks up to the sky in slight annoyance that he didn't get more hold of it. Deep square is quite backward, so there is a gap between mid-wicket and that fielder. But just for a bit of context, in the first game, Jersey were 62 for 8 when they got to this total. There's a quick bumper. Good decision though from Googe to pull out of the pull shot. Not always the easiest shot to pull out of, especially when you're a compulsive hooker of the ball.
Yeah, and a really good learning point for youngsters and batters in general. He's obviously moved the deep square slightly in front, so you know something's coming down. He's bowled it quick, fiercely at the head, and a positive leave. It is a sign of an attack for me. It's a great option to have. So you can leave the ball to obviously respect the ball and save your wicket.
Tickled away, didn't quite get enough bat on it to scare the boundary. It's been picked up by fine leg for a single. It's a definite plan now from Nepal to target the 2 deep fielders out at square leg and fine leg with the short ball stuff. But I really am thinking that they're pushing Googe slightly on the back foot. Carline is now on strike, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point if Jha just, when he's ready, bowled a full, quick Yorker.
Yes, a variation ball.
Yeah.
But what we also haven't seen is a variation from the seamers.
Yeah.
So on this pitch where you can see it's a little bit too paced, we haven't quite seen that just yet.
And a top edge runs away for 4. And the picture of Jar tells the story, hands on head, as he knows the plan almost came into fruition. But that ends the over. Jersey will take the boundary, they'll move on. It's 67 for 9 at the end of the 15th. Umpire's having a little discussion now, maybe talking about a drinks break, although I think they've found the ball. They'll have a little look at it as it skipped away, almost went over a fence down there at fine leg. The umpire's going to have a little look at the ball. Now it's back in the bowler's hands. Carline will take that boundary and run with it, not in the style he would have wanted, but 4 runs is 4 runs. Guj on strike now to Nandan Yadav. Guj pulls away well, and it beats the diving fielder. Brilliant shot. The short ball didn't quite get up on the opening batter, and Nandan Yadav almost just looked like he tried to go in the helmet region. It didn't quite get up, and Goose punished it away for 4.
Yeah, it's been quite evident from that side that the ball isn't quite getting up. It's not as sort of helmet height, regardless of the effort going in, and you have to really dig it in short and really.
There's another nice shot. Beats the diving mid-wicket. And Goose goes back-to-back with 4s. And Nandan Yadav is missing his mark at the minute. And Goose putting him back under pressure. Jersey now 75 for none.
Yeah, two very different deliveries, slightly off the mark. Great from Goose, who's just crashed into the delivery. One sort of just in front of square, a deep square, and one in front of mid-wicket. Looks solid. But Nandan's got his work cut out here. He's really got to find a plan that he's going to have to stick with.
Cut away, backward a point. Fielder out there though. Goose moves to 39. Not much to the Nepal fans to cheer about as of yet. But Nandan Yadav, I'm not sure this is quite his plan. I think Yadav would love to be settling in at a good length and trying to bring the outside edge into play, but the ball 15 overs old now. It seems to be the team tactic from both ends to target the short ball. And I think, personally, it's time for a bit of spin from the far end, as you've been mentioning as well, Kaz.
Yeah, and I think just with Gulshan from this end, he's obviously the guy who's got the pace, who's obviously rushing the batters up. Something that Yadav is not actually quite doing at the moment. And he's bowling it relatively comfortable for the batters to sort of play with ease. So I'm not sure that's the right plan from the opposite end, whereas Gulshan over here bowling some hard lengths, fast, rushing the batters up, really targeting the helmet with a strong action. I can see that ploy from this end, but Yadav, not quite sure. And again, not really seen any change-ups with a pitch that's, you know, doing a few different things, not overly consistent, but enough to sort of show you that you can put some variations in there.
As Yadav continues to hammer away. Yeah, it's one thing we saw a lot from groundsman Biz, Daniel Birrell, back on Monday. Instantly, in his first over, almost had 3 changes of pace.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, we haven't really seen a cutter, we haven't seen a slower delivery or anything just to make the batters think.
Yeah, and that's probably another ploy that I try and go to. So when you're trying to assess the conditions, something for the captains to think about here. You know, a tactical approach will be how quickly can we go to some variation. When do I need to sort of get in position of maybe changing up the plan and being adaptable to the conditions? Because it's one thing having a plan from outside and getting all your bowlers to do your 4 overs and 5 overs and whatever, but it's another thing to adapt to the situation and the conditions, and don't be afraid to go to them change-ups.
And as Drinks is taken at 77 for none, I just want to ask you, Kaz, it feels almost too often in international cricket where you see a bowler being asked to execute a plan which isn't quite up his street. We see the card there and it tells you the story, doesn't it? Carline and Googe, they've been absolutely superb. 35 for Carline, 39 for Googe, going just under a one a ball rate. However, they've batted with class today. But just back to that point as we look at the bowler's card now. Kami and Rajbanshi, very, very economical. Going at the mid-2s per over. Downey not quite as successful as Monday, where he took 4 wickets in the game. But Gulshan Jar also showing good signs and good pace. So it feels, as I mentioned, it feels too often sometimes in international cricket where bowlers are trying to carry out a plan which doesn't quite suit them. Is that something you discuss as a team and you think, yeah, we're not going to have Nandan take on the short ball ploy, we're going to bring him on at a different point in the game, or do you expect a professional cricketer to be able to carry out any plans almost asked of him?
I think in today's day and age, you'd expect the professional cricketer to have them skills and tools in his pocket ready to go at any point. But again, you've got to look at the strengths and weaknesses of a bowler, and if you're asking somebody where the build and the body and the strength might not be there to bowl 6 bounces in a row or challenge the hip as often as possible, you know, you can see the contrast difference in the 2 physical elements from the 2 bowlers on show. You might be asking them to do something out of their natural ability, which can cause injury in the long run, which can put a lot of impact on the body, which the stress is not required. But also, you might be taking the bowler away from his natural game plan, which has got him to this level in the first place. So, you know, you want your bowlers to be resourceful as much as possible, but you also want to make sure that the bowler has the ability to turn around and say, well, my success rate is this, I'm learning this, and it's not quite ready, and I'm trying to back this up from a bowling perspective.
And so there we see Stuart Law, head coach of Nepal, talking to his players. Let's put you in that position again, Kaz. Bit of confidence boosting going on, a few people sat down, a couple of heads dropping, and what do you reckon they'll be talking about tactics-wise?
I think the key thing here is just to try and find a wicket. Stewie Law, known him for a while now, he's a great individual with lots of cricketing experience, but also lots of experience as head coach, been around the world, had lots of different challenges. He'll be, you know, he's done a fantastic job in Nepal since he's been involved, and they've gone from leaps and bounds, and they've really shown the tagline of the cardiac kids have calmed down a little bit. So I'm sure he's trying to instill some, you know, tactics in there which they might not be able to see on the pitch. And you've got to try and simplify as often as possible. You cannot keep going in there and saying, I want you to do these 5 or 6 things. Maybe 1 or 2 things just to sort of, you know, remind people on certain elements. Maybe a fielding change, maybe a tactical move that might not be so evident or visible that you can see from the outline, but you can't see from inside. So, yeah, I mean, great experience, fantastic man, he's Stewie Law, and I think he's done a wonderful job. Great accent as well.
And we see the Jersey batters there having a little discussion, I think, with the skipper, Rohit Patel. More of the same for Jersey?
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be fantastic, overly happy, I think, and they've done fantastically well to get into a really solid start. Another tick in the box from a batting unit perspective, get to Drinks without a wicket down. 77 for no loss is a really good platform, and I'm sure they'd want to kick on from here onwards.
Well, Gulshan Jar will be looking to make an impact now. So he runs in again from the pavilion end, fresh after a bit of hydration. Patrick Goose sorting out his grip. Harrison Carlisle getting his head back in the game. As these two, as you mentioned, Kaz, looking to kick on and keep doing what they're doing. I reckon they probably won't change much at all. Maybe they'll get to the 35 over mark and then start thinking about maybe climbing up. I mean, if they're still together by over 30, they can look to do it a little bit earlier. And here comes Gulshan Jar. Can he make the breakthrough? Unbelievable start. Textbook from Carlisle. And so often the ball after drinks might bring about a chance, but that's the complete opposite.
Yeah, I was just about to say the man in. A wicket after drinks. Always a saying and always a going. Always does take shape, whatever level you're playing at. But that's a freebie for the batter. It's exactly what you want, just to realign your focus, get yourself back in. And from a bowling perspective, it's not what you want to start off with.
Slightly over pitched. Put away. Short ball, cut away. There's a fielder out there. And with the spin and skip, takes it away past him. Arjun Kamal will pick up from behind the covers. And a shaky start after drinks from Gulshan.
Yeah, and you kind of leaked 8 runs purely because you're not bowled in the right areas. And that's what a drinks break or a momentum break can do for you. You know, you've given some width on offer in the second delivery with pace, and there's no fielder out there. And then you've started off with a rank half volley and a batter who's cashing in on the 40s is not going to miss out.
No, we've hardly seen Carlisle miss out on a single poor delivery so far today. Sits on 43. And that's brilliant batting. 4-4 and runs it down to third man. Doesn't get ahead of himself, doesn't look for the third boundary on the trot. The nails sit after very close to the perfect start for him post drinks.
Yeah, and this will be a really good challenge for Gulshan, who's obviously got the pace and the bounce and everything that goes with it, but you really still want to be clinical, and he's just not been in the first 3 balls there. He's want to start targeting, getting back into rhythm, trying to get past the splice of the bat, hip high, targeting the off stump as much as possible. And I think he's more favourable to do that to Patrick Gouge as opposed to Harrison.
Gulshan continuing to try and hone in on that length, and I reckon the discussion maybe in the drinks break could have been to use that bouncer with a little bit more surprise, because the fielders are both out there. It's still definitely a tactic. And maybe we might see one just before the end of the over. But the batters continuing where they left off. Run rate a tick over 5. Jersey will be incredibly happy with their start.
Yeah, they've done well. 86 for the loss of no wickets. Done really well. Positive signs. Great to see from the Jersey batters, and they'll be looking to cash in towards off milestones that they can get to.
There it is. There's the short ball. Fielder interested just over the top. Goose gets a 6 for it, but it wasn't without risk. That ends the over. It's 92 for none, and there was the surprise bouncer. Gulshan Jar walks off towards his teammate Bim Sharkey for a little discussion, but he'll be disheartened with how that over ended. He snatches the towel off and steams out towards fine leg. 92 for none.
I think he's more disappointed with the fielding effort. That's been hit really, really hard. There was a fielder out there, and it does look like it was Sandeep who's out there. But you know, maybe a little bit of a higher jump. It was going in the right direction. Sandeep's waltzed in, left the ball for one of the spectators to go and fetch as he comes up to mark his run up. Class act.
Well, here we go then. Sandeep Lamachani. They need a breakthrough here, Nepal. And they brought on their main man to get it. A slip in, mid-wicket. The deep men are mid-wicket and long off and deep point as well. There's also a long on as Lamachani bowls. Carlisle treats him with respect. Two men approaching their milestones. Lamachani on the mark again.
Yeah, he started off well, hasn't he? Just a wily run up into the crease, looking to ball into the right areas. I think he'll be wanting to get through his repertoire as much as possible. Experience around the world.
Pushing drive into the covers. And a single well taken. This opening pair have just been so impressive today. Not just in the balls that they've put away, but the balls in which they've found runs from. Lamachani spins himself a catch. Guj on strike on 45. Start of dreams this for Jersey. Top edge as it's a powerful cut shot from Guj. It's going to run away for 4. And that moves him on to 49. So just one run away. Not the most convincing shot, but he's got a ball to do it against Sandeep Lamachani.
Yeah, he's batted well. Little bit of fortune there, thick outside edge. Sandy will be trying to finish strong here.
Can Lamachani get him on 49? It's a googly. And the umpire sticks to the decision of not out. And Guj survives. He saw his eyes lit up at the short ball, didn't he? And he didn't quite pick the googly, and it was a chance, but going down leg and probably height as well. Lamachani ends his first over. It goes for 5, and Jersey are 97 for none.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Patrick Guj has faced of Sandeep Lamachani before. Maybe on Laura 97 or something like that. Is that a computer game? What is it nowadays?
God, I went through the Don Bradman era, I think. I remember playing Don Bradman 17. That was a classic game. Just a question about analysis at the associate nation level. How much goes into preparing for a bowler like Sandeep Lamachani? We'll get back to it after this ball as Lalit Rajbanshi returns to the attack. Harrison on 45. Struck on the pad. This is a big call for the umpire. There's a large appeal from Rajbanshi, who's desperate for that wicket. Heavy thud on the front pad. And look close. But yeah, how much analysis do teams do at the associate nation level?
Well, having had experience with 3 different countries now, all with different budgets, of course.
Yes.
You know, in my last job, we had a fantastic analysis coming from India, who very professional in his work, tagged every single delivery, every single ball, brought out strengths and weaknesses, gave real insight information to every batter, every bowler, and allowed the batters to soak up that information. The danger is you over-empower players with the knowledge and they're not quite used to it. Some systems are in place where players will just want it on their phones as something to watch over or refer back to. Some players, as soon as they come off, sit down with the analyst and go, you know, deep into their discussions about why they've been out and what they haven't. I think each to their own, but it's our job as coaches and a management system to provide that information however they want to learn that information and go away and improve the game.
And Carline now just taking a few dot balls. This would be really interesting to see how he closes out this over, Carline. He's not a man that likes to block out deliveries and let pressure build up upon him. He finds a single in the covers. Little chance to the non-striker's end as the ball picks up and hits Lalit in the neck region. But Nepal have just got to remember that that's what a few dots can do. As the wind continues to breeze and throw a few things off our table. Rajbanshi's got one delivery left to close out this brilliant over. Googe on 49. 98 for none jersey. Bottom edge. Trickles to short third. Our player on 49. He's had a couple of overs in a row now where he's just faced out the final delivery on 49. And maybe just a small milestone might be building up upon him. End of the over, 98 for none.
Be interesting to see how Nepal can get a breakthrough. They've obviously gone to the most experienced spinner who's had success around the world, bowled to some of the biggest and greatest batters out there and played some of the greatest tournaments out there. Interesting to see how Sandeep is also going to be utilising his googly as much as possible to the right-handers and how he sets them up.
And there is the googly you mentioned. For a minute I thought there was a rattle of the stumps, but Carline gets away with it, and he's already showing the challenge that Lamichhane possesses in the variation department.
Yeah, and the danger is that Carline hasn't...
Oh, it's happened again.
And that's the point that I'm trying to... If you look at it from a technical point of view, there's too much of a gap between bat and pad here. And he's allowing the googly to come in and attack the stumps. I'd probably want to see more of a full-face attacking shot as opposed to a I'm going to sit back and try and cut him, because that's all what the bowler's looking for, is enough space between bat and ball to go on and hit the stumps with a googly.
There's another show of it, and you get the feeling if Lamichhane bowls any fuller and Carline continues to rock back all of a sudden, that's going to be a real danger with the ball spinning in with the variation. But Harrison, 4 runs away from a 50. He'll be looking to get there with a boundary, that's for sure. Off the back foot, Harrison Carlisle hesitates for a moment and gets to the non-striker's end for a single. He moves to 47. 46 he will remain on then. So Googe now has 2 balls to get to his 50. He's on 49, matching his shirt number. And the single would also take Jersey to the 100 opening partnership. A punch down the ground, hits the stumps. That would have come off the bat and Googe would have instantly thought it's 50 time. But he's got to remain patient. Lamichhane has the tools. Plenty of experience now. Still only 25 years of age. And another little pause as Googe has been on 49 for plenty of time. And he pats it back to Lamachani, who does his job. And leaves Gouge on 49. That ends the over. 99 without loss, Jersey. And both batters just got to hold their nerves as they approach the 50 mark. And they continue their brilliant, top quality opening stand.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Very impressed. 20 overs, solid platform. I know they're ticking the box for the batting unit. 20 overs gone without a loss. As the batting card shows, Harrison on 46 of 66. And Gouge stuck on 49 of 54 balls. It's been edging and trying to get a single away or somewhere, find a gap somewhere or the other. But they've been solid so far, and it's been a real good show and a great comeback from the first game.
Oh, it's a flowing drive. It's just beaten backward point, who was reeling around to try and get there. And it is going to be fielded on the boundary. And there's plenty of applause, and I'm not sure if there is a 50 up, because it was a 3 for Harrison. And he's moved to 49, so plenty of chuckles away in the hospitality tent as the fans have realised both now sit on 49. 100 up though for Jersey, that must have been the applause. And Gouge pops one back to the bowler. Lalek Rajbanshi has got a task to do. Both batters on 49. A little bit of nerves in the air. He looks to close out this over. And Gouge has been on 49 for 4 overs now. And a brilliant stop from Rajbanshi continues the wait. Gouge has got to remain patient. He has a little scan of the field. Ponders on his next single to reach the half-century mark. And again the ball grips. So easy, a batter can let the pressure get the better of him. Gouge remains focused. Down the track, he's hit it high up into the sky. Fielder out there, he's interested. Been caught on the boundary. Oh, it's a brilliant piece of work. The most eventful way to get to 50. And a top quality piece of fielding from the Nepal captain, Dipendra Singh Array. You've raved about his fielding, Kaz, and that is an unbelievable piece of work on the boundary. He takes the catch, throws it back over, and he almost had a chance. But the story is Gouge gets to 50, Jersey 103 for none, 1 ball left in the over with Harrison Carline on 49. Could Jersey do it in back-to-back balls? He goes back, punches it into the offside, and a slightly less eventful way to reach 50. And he appreciates the crowd, raises his bat, and a fitting way for both these two opening batters who've got Jersey off to the perfect start, get to 50 in consecutive balls, congratulate each other, but they know the job's only half done. 104 for none, Jersey, and an incredible over comes to an end.
What an eventful last 2 balls that was. Everything was on show there. But obviously from Dipendra's point of view, had a bit of work to do to get to the boundary. Made it a little bit more difficult for him because the ball was going away from him, hit into the wind. But I'm really happy for the 2 batters. They've really showed that there's some great determination to get over that 50 as we see the replay of this effort. And it's almost just, if anything, he's been pulled away from the ball because the ball's going away from him. He's not quite got to the boundary line as high as he would probably want to be to pull it back in. And he's almost pushed it away from him too far.
Two things come to mind then. One of which DSRA was intentionally about 10 yards in from the rope. So it made that job so much more challenging to run backwards, look over your shoulder and still take the catch. And the other thing which is so impressive, which shows me and everyone watching a glimpse of how good his fielding is, was that a little scam. He had a brief moment. As this one is the Googly again, beats Googe on the inside edge. There was a really, really brief moment as he was running back towards the boundary. A split second he looks at the boundary. Where is the rope? How far can he run back to? And it was just in that split second he was able to judge it with perfection.
Yeah, and he, like I say, he is renowned for his fielding. He is one of the better fielders around in associate cricket, and now going into franchise cricket, he's really made a name for himself.
And this Googly is a real challenge for the Jersey batters. Both these two opening batters going back early to the Googly and just about getting it out each time. You think the Googly is almost a ball Lamachani will be wanting to flight up slightly more, maybe draw the bats onto the front foot, or is it a pretty common dismissal to lose wickets with Googlies pouncing a little bit short?
Sandeep is a bowler who does bowl with a little bit of pace, so you'll kind of see his Googly with a lower trajectory coming in, so it's almost like a back of the length delivery. However, it's not quite working at the moment, so you do want to draw the batters in. One of his dismissals on Monday was slightly fuller, beaten through the gate. So I do want to see him just bowl a little bit slower in the air, a little bit fuller. See if you can draw the batters to come in and either hit down the ground or hit over the top, and obviously beat them through the gap.
Yeah, well remembered of Jake Dumford falling for 5 on Monday to that Lamachani Googly, and he almost walked off in resignation at the quality of the ball.
Yeah, and he's got that quality. Again, the two spinners now are starting to put a little bit of pressure back on to the Jersey batters. They've couple of good overs. It's key now. Again, from a captain's point of view, you want to start looking at trying to build some pressure. If you can't find a wicket or there's no obvious mistakes from the batters coming, what you want to do is start putting some pressure on from the bowling perspective to build some dots up, and equally that's a pressure in itself. Or you want a moment of brilliance from your fielders like we nearly had in the last over.
Would you say that Nepal brought their spin on too late? Yes, they had an early spell from Raj Banshi in the power play, but I wonder if they could have brought on Lamachani straight after the power play. Yes, it's a small fix, but as this is a play and a miss from Carline, look at how he dips down and instantly gets frustrated. Do you think they maybe brought on spin too late, or is it minimal?
Two things. One, he was off the pitch for 7 or 8 overs, so coming up to the 10-over period there, he was actually doing laps in front of us, so he might not have been on the pitch ready to go. But the second thing is, you're right, maybe straight after the power play is finished, the field is spread, maybe they could have gone to their fast best premium sort of spin bowler. However, they are here to try to get everybody into the game as often and as much as possible. The second practice game that they've got over here is to try and give everybody a chance to get into the game. So yeah, maybe the bigger picture is not to instantly take wickets, but trying to get everybody in terms of overs and get the workloads up.
Harrison Carline is motioning to the dugout for a request for a drink. Top edge on the sweep. It lands safely. Goo's had a couple of moments like that where a leading edge is taken. It's been well fielded and they'll get back for a second run. Yeah, I have just noticed that Carline is slightly struggling out there. Just in the last few overs, taking his lid off in between the sets of 6. Both on 53 now, these two. More good batting from Googe. Low risk on drive punch out towards long on. As Jersey now sit on now. Wilson, 104 none. 23 overs gone. At what point do these two look to start to up the ante?
25th over. That's a halfway point. You've got wickets in the tent, and you can see from the two batters they're just getting a little bit fatigue, starting to creep in a little bit. You know, a few mistakes are starting to come in terms of execution. So yeah, I mean, there's something brewing. There's something coming. Either we're going to get a flurry of runs, or we're going to get a breakthrough in the wickets.
Gooch finds a single. Dangerous man to take on. And Carlisle, the man who just requested some water, has had to go through his paces. He looks up to the sky, just asking Patrick Gooch, why? Why do that to me straight off?
It's the last thing you want, isn't it? Young lad calling you through.
Imagine what a 3 would do to him now. There's a shot of a man who's potentially getting a bit tired. It's a good save from Pandey. And Carlisle gets back for a 2, getting put through his paces. I can see, you did just mention the 25 over mark. I wonder if Carlisle might start taking it upon himself to bludgeon a few boundaries away. Because Sandeep Lamachani has bowled well. He's used the googly to good effect. As Slip moves out to short third. Maybe that's just a little sign to Carlisle that he could maybe be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and also a sign that the ball's probably not turning as much for a Slip to be in there. As we say that, we see a bit of turn.
I must say, you made a few unbelievable calls over the last few days, but that one didn't quite land.
So Sandeep's got it wrong, I've got it wrong.
Yeah, blame the bowler. And now Slip comes back in. I think everyone judged that wrong, to be honest. Oh, as the googly so nearly scuttles through onto the stumps. There's a roar from Lamachani in anger. He sets his standards so high, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and he's been a great servant to Nepal cricket. Fantastic. Early doors, he was shot onto the limelight very, very, very quickly. Something's brewing here, I can feel it.
Well, there's one ball left to survive for Carlisle. If there's something brewing, it might just happen now. Lamachani maybe just lobs one up here. He goes flat, and DS Array with the misfield. Fielded out in the deep by Lalit Rajbanshi. And that ends the over. Carlisle gets a single. He moves to 56 and will keep the strike. 24 overs gone. 115 for none. And so Rajbanshi will continue. Are you motioning that you might want to see a bit of Arish Sheikh come onto the bowling? Is that what you're saying?
He bowled well doing that.
He did bowl well. Took 3 wickets.
Yeah. Bowled well.
And whilst Hemant Dami took the first 4 wickets, Arif took 3 of the next 4.
Yeah.
Including Samarar for a golden duck, Ward for 1, and he got the wicket of one of the 2 men out there. Carlisle pull out a deep point.
Unless it could be his turn to rest. I mean, there are some movements happening on the sidelines from the Nepalese guys.
Harrison Carlisle has to go. The pressure was built. You felt something was brewing, Kaz. And it was a huge swing down the track. And I think that might just be a moment there from Harrison Carlisle which shows to you that he was just starting to struggle out there. and he goes for a big swing, misses out, and he falls for a very, very well-made 56 from 80 balls. 115 for one now, Jersey.
Yeah, I kind of called it, you know. You could see it was starting to come. Something was going to happen. A miscue as he runs down to try and hit that over mid-on, mid-off. Good length delivery, good pace. But overall, a fantastic innings from Harrison as he walks off to a round of applause, both from his teammates, the management, and also the hospitality. Fantastic performance from the opening batter, the number 77 there, as we see a breakthrough from Nepal.
Now, I'd love to see a replay of that, because I'm not quite sure from the angle. I was blocked from young Patrick Gouge whether that was bowled or stumped. Stumped? Let's have a look at it then. Let's make our decision. I think he might have given up to head back here, Carline. Down the track, missed. Rapid gloves. Bit of a close call for the square leg umpire. But Carline's got to go. He made a very, very good 56. He'll be immensely proud of that, and against a good quality lineup, good attack. He stood firm. Hit a few strong boundaries away, but we see the new batter, Nick Greenwood. Was the pick of the Jersey bowlers on Monday. See how he does with the bat. And he's had a lot of time to spend with his pads on in the dugout. 24 overs of it. And it does come with its challenges, doesn't it, after an opening stand? Coming in as a number 3. A lot of time sat on the bench waiting to go in. And also with the slight pressure to get going quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, different batters have different cues and different sort of preparations. Some watch every single delivery, put on some, you know, strain on the mental side of the aspect before they've even got in. Other people like to listen to the music and wait for something to happen and get themselves in. There's other people who are, other batters who are just constantly fidgeting and constantly walking around and trying to get into the action. Everyone's got their different cues on how they prep up on the sides.
Now, you spent a bit of your playing career both opening and in the middle order with the bat. I personally could never not open batting. How did you go about being able to juggle sitting for a period of time which could either be one ball or 5 hours?
Yeah, great question. Great question. Try to stay there as long as possible so it kills the innings down. But I think from my point of view, opening was something that I was manufactured into because we had a position available, and at the time the team that we were playing for, you know, it was something that was asked of me, and I kind of took the responsibility. And then eventually going down to, after a couple of years of opening, going down to sort of one down, where I favoured that position a little bit more. But the key thing for me is, why wouldn't you want to face a new ball, a new challenge, put the team into a really good position? Power play kicks in, fielders' restrictions are in place.
And as we see, a change of wicketkeeper. Now, he's got Hemant Dami's shirt on. Whether that is actually Hemant Dami, we'll have to find out for you, because we did struggle a little bit on Monday with 2 number 13s out on the pitch. We'll do our best to let you know who that is, but after a very, very good stumping, Asif Sheikh does depart the field. He'll be having a little bit of a break at the 25 over mark. And Greenwood begins his time facing Lamachani with a confident push into the offside. Greenwood will take a single. Even post a breakthrough for Nepal, it continues to be a little bit flat out there in the field. And Jersey batters, it gives them the ability to keep going about their business. Patrick Googe in particular will be targeting 3 figures, that's for sure. 117 for 1 here, Jersey. He's got a mighty problem to solve with Lamachani, who continues to run in. Takes a single into the offside, well fielded by Kushal Patel. This might be me being a little bit harsh here. But do you think it's a slight technical issue? A lot of Lamachani's googlies are tending just to be a fraction short.
He does ball it quick through the air, and the trajectory-wise, he's not one to get over the top of his delivery as that ball races away past the 45 position on the leg side, tucked in nicely there from Patrick Googe. Again, a googly that's not been effective. Trickle down for 4 runs.
Yeah, misfield there from the fielder at short fine. Lamachani definitely won't be too happy, as the hospitality tent continues to rumble and murmur. And there's the googly again, just slightly short from Lamachani. I would love to see a batter be forced to get on the front foot to the googly. See if Lamachani can really lob a few up there. Maybe he's not getting quite enough purchase to be able to put it up above the eye line with confidence, but I'm sure Lamachani's got something up his sleeve. And that drive pops through the hands of Kushal Patel. The standards in the field have just ever so slightly dropped here for Nepal. They need to keep the pressure up as Jersey get through to 1-2-4 for 1.
Yeah, and interesting point you made there of the fielding standards. A slight contrast difference to what we saw the other night in terms of being efficient, being on it, not making any mistakes in the field. You can just see it didn't help in the first over or so, very early doors. We had the overthrows coming in. You know, the standards have been okay so far, but I'm pretty sure the Nepal management under the watchful eye of Stuart Law would probably just want them boys to be a little bit more clinical in the field. And that's another challenge you have on days like this, where you are bowling first. It's a different challenge. It's a new day. It's a fresh challenge. So you gotta try and tick all the boxes as much as possible.
Now, as we see Kushal Patel, who's doing some warming up with his spin into the glove, into the mitt of Stuart Law on the sidelines, but now he's here, ready to go. Spins himself a catch, and he's in now. And slashed away by the man with the half century. Patrick Googe gets to the non-strikers as a drag down begins the spell from Patel. Definitely a less breezy day at Grainville. Still the cloud cover remains. And Greenwood continues to tick along with 1s and 2s. So we just get a still moment in today's weather. Nicer day than we had for the first one day. Googe goes back, punches up to long off for an extra single. Googe continues to impress. Now I wonder if Patel might just be one of those bowlers. We often see it more in the longer format when a partnership is set. And when a pitch is good for batting, actually a part-time leggy is the kind of bowler that could break a partnership, whether it's with a drag down or a magic delivery, or whether it's a delivery which just might make the batter's eyes light up and think that it's a boundary on offer. Greenwood remains patient though.
And he's bowled alright, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's put the ball in the right areas, ball into his field. As he looks to bring in a slight fielding change here. Depender from mid-on moving to long on, and a fielder at deep mid-wicket coming inside the ring.
That's a good delivery. Hanging the ball on about a 4th, 5th stump line with a bit of leg spin, but that ends the over. Umpire hands the cap back to Bertel, and Jersey at 127 for one from their 27 overs and continue to tick along nicely. And now the question remains of at what point Jersey will look to start cooking up through the gears. And me personally, I reckon we'll probably wait until about the 37, 35 over mark, which might seem late for you.
Yeah, traditionally teams tend to go around, 32, 30, 35 at the latest. The last 15 overs, last 18 overs, they're trying to capitalise as much as possible, especially with in this position you've got wickets in the 10. They could go earlier if the 2 set batters were in, but obviously you've got a change up in Nick Greenwood coming in, who's might need a little bit of time into the crease, although he's on 9 off 12. He's done really well since he's been in. But yeah, at some point they're going to have to accelerate. If that 300 mark, which should definitely be a target for me.
Googe getting really, really low into his shots off the front foot. It's a good sign of a good player of spin. Movements are quick. Lamachani searching for a wicket now. Can he get one on the board? Beautiful shot of Googe rushes through for the first run, even though it's got single written all over it. Such a great sign of a
Jersey, he's batted really well, showed some confidence, pulled really well, looked to really get into his stride.
Meet the brand new Wondershare Uni Converter 14, the all-in-one video toolbox to convert, compress, edit videos and much more.
Yeah, Googe is looking mature beyond his years at the moment. So Lamachani. Lofts a good length ball just outside the line of off stump. I am enjoying watching Lamachani go about his business and lobbing the odd ball up. He's in class. So there is the Googly again, just a touch short. He'll definitely be looking to pitch that one up, but that ends the over. 129 for 1, as we now see Kushal Patel come back onto the bowling, and I can now deliver you a few stats about his one-day international bowling career. He's bowled exactly 100 overs now, just with the one maiden. He also has a 4 for 23 against the USA. And the man behind the stumps, who has been subbed on for Asif Sheikh at the 25 over mark, we can confirm is Binod Bandari. Kushal Patel making a few tinkers and changes to his field. Short fine leg comes slightly squarer. DS Array is out at long on. Deep mid wicket 2. Here's Patel. And Googe knocks a single up towards Array. Nepal skipper. Jersey tick over the 130 mark. And Googe into the 60s.
Yeah, you'd want to get Googe playing as long as possible now. He's obviously been in for 74 deliveries for his 60.
A sweetly timed drive beats the extra cover fielder. Yeah, just from a personal player point of view, he'll be seeing this as a great opportunity just about time. Almost be the anchor throughout this Jersey innings. Takes another quick single, brilliant batting, great intensity. Would you say that when you've got, let's say you've got a batter set, like we have here, it might depend on the batter, but is it up to the man who's set to kick on, or is it up to the players who can come in around him to kick on, or are you looking for positivity from both? Let's come back to it after this ball. As Greenwood looks for a two, Guja's keen, and a slight misfield brings about the second run. Patel is furious with his man out there. But what would you say? Whose job is it to start kicking on?
It's $1 million question you've just asked me there. I also think it's the intent of where you're playing as well, and what level you're playing at. Obviously, when you get club cricket, you get guys who are coming in and they want to work around the batter who's been in there for a long period of time. They'll end up taking the high risk element and keep the batter who's been in for a while to bat longer so that he can have a little bit of a break and then go on and kick on a little bit later. I think at the higher level game, you'll get the guy who's just come in to support as much as possible the guy who's been in for long periods of time, and then when he's ready, they can alternate between the two on who kicks on and who doesn't. But the key thing here is you cannot give your wickets away cheaply. Patrick Guja's done really well, and I'm sure from a personal perspective he'll want to keep batting out there for as long as period. But from a team perspective as well, the longer he bats, the more runs they're putting onto the board with a guy who's in form and who's been there for long periods.
Well, Jersey still with plenty of firepower to come. The likes of Jonty Jenner, who spoke so well out there at the toss. Looking forward to another challenge. As another one of your calls comes off here. Kaz, you've asked for it, and it's time for the man who took 3 wickets on Monday. Arif Sheikh for a little bit of those slightly pace off, but off the long run deliveries.
Yeah, and I thought he was really effective on Monday. He did really well. But again, be a different challenge for him here because Team Nepal have only got 1 wicket at the moment. Different conditions. He's bowling to a set batter. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to do and what his plan is here.
Moves through low.
Skiddy bowler.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but it's a sight we've seen a lot of, as you mentioned earlier today, from that end. The ball just having more of a tendency to shoot through low. Good glove work from Binod. Again, there it is. I wonder if that's just more a sign of the skiddy nature of the bowler or more from the pitch here.
The danger here is that he gets a massive thick edge or a slight nick into the keeper's glove here, playing that shot. The tactic is obviously have the keeper up and trying to get him to play from the crease, skid the ball on as much as possible.
And that one picks up as Guj predicted and gets a single out towards Raj Banchu, does the work. Yes, when those flat batted shots come with the extra risk when there is that variable bounce. And it's a shot he really enjoys. Guj using the pace down towards third man and backward point region. The late cuts is a shot he executes well. As there's a sign of the ball just picking up off a back of a length ball.
It's a rare sign from that end, a ball just taking off a lot of the balls have kept sort of almost waist height, sort of thigh pad height. But that's just a great take behind the stumps.
And Guj, a young lad, now in the 60s. Different players, obviously, will be thinking about the milestone. And that feels like a better shot to play on that length with the straight bat, being able to cope with the varying bounce, but that ends the over 135 for 1. Now 30 over mark.
Prediction time.
Let's have a think, Kaz. Jersey, 300 still the target?
Absolutely. I think from this position, 20 overs in, you'd another 165 or 20 overs. You'd like to think they would get there with wickets in the 10. And I think it'll be a really good platform and another tick in the box from the batting department to get up to that 300 mark.
And it is just worth remembering, Jersey still only have 135 runs. Yes, we're 30 overs in and they've lost the 1 wicket. But if Jersey try and kick on too early and lose a couple of wickets, all of a sudden 135 for 3 or 4 doesn't look quite as convincing. As he cuts confidently down the ground. And I'd say the role for Guj now is just to bat through the 50. Kick on when he's ready, but it's actually up to the other players more to come in and take on the wrist shots, as you mentioned.
Yeah, almost give him a little bit of a breather for 10 overs and let him go again in the last 10. But he's got to look to stick around as much as possible. Keep rotating strike.
Pulled away nicely, skipping along the boundary. And Nick Greenwood gets the boundary to his name. He moves to 16, and a slight drag down from Kushal Patel as he whips out. I've never seen that. He's pulled almost a string out of his playing bottoms.
I think what you've just seen there is often players cut the trouser so it fits around the ankle a little bit better, and the threading from the ankle, or what he's cut out, is probably what's quite loose there.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a trousers malfunction.
Well, we don't want to see that.
No, we don't. Especially a man of his quality. Solid punch through the covers.
Although I do believe he is a bit of a gym buff, so I'm sure his tattoos and his pectoral muscles and everything else, I'm sure he's not shy of a selfie in front of the mirror. I don't think he'll mind having a malfunction anyway. Yeah.
Well played from Guj. Thought about to. The Jersey batters have been so impressive. Everything you look for in a 50 over innings in terms of the first 30. They put away bad balls. The running between the wickets has been top class. There's no sign of Guj getting tired out there.
No, they've done really well, and a typical Jersey performance with the bat in the first 30 overs. It's been really good to see against a really quality opposition from Nepal. I think they've done really, really well. They've shown they can have some resilience in coming back from the performance from the other day, but they've also shown that they've played some good cricket shots, they've respected good deliveries, they've played off the bad balls, but they've also looked to rotate the strike, which is quite key at this point, which they didn't do a lot of. I mean, bear in mind, we did lose a lot of wickets, but It's good to see that they're picking up singles inside the ring and rotating strike. And they've capitalised on the short ball and the boundary ball as much as possible.
They just have to hope now, right, that the collapse doesn't come, because the collapse would ruin all the hard work. And if they, I mean, similar to Nepal, where they were on Monday. Again, looking for two. Gouge, good fielding out in the deep. But at the 35th over in Nepal's first innings, they were 172 for 2. And then ended up on 250.
Largely down to a massive shower and change of condition on the pitch, and dare I say, excellent bowling from Jersey, who came out with a real definitive plan. So credit goes to Jersey. Not sure we're going to get quite the same rainfall, and also the condition changing of the pitch. Shot.
Back was square, but fielder out there, well placed, collects. So I guess my question here now is, excluding the rainfall, there is still the potential there. If they get the next 10 overs or so wrong, Jersey would be incredibly unhappy with a score below 250.
Yeah, you'd like to think that 115 overs takes them to 250 with 5 overs to go.
Okay.
Or little over 5 overs to go, and trying to get up to that. You know, they might have a good spell in there, but 15 overs, 100 runs, it's not unheard of at this level with this amount of wickets. So I would probably say even 100, 120, 130. And with that kind of batting there from that explosion that we've just seen from Patrick Gouge there, short ball from Arif, he's tucked into that and it's gone towards the cow corner area. Fantastic cricket shot for 4 runs.
He's done that so well today, hasn't he? The way he's used that pull shot to great effect. And so often the short balls haven't hurried him. It's how he got out on Monday. And almost the fact that Nepal have targeted it has worked to his favour, because he is so strong on the back foot.
Yeah, and I've got a question why his ball's short when there's no deep cow corner out there. The only fielder that's deep seems to be just behind square. And in all the pull shots that we've seen so far, bar the swivel pull that's gone behind the 45, so the fine leg, everything's gone in front of square leg. So you can question the tactic.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a huge amount of real clear planning from the Nepal bowls as we see Rajbanshi take over. Greenwood queries the prospect of a quick cover single. Jersey tick over the 150 mark now, 32 overs gone. Single taken this time, putting the fielder under pressure. Causes the fumble in the pickup. Now Patrick Gouge sits on 70. Greenwood has done his job to perfection, under the radar, getting up to the 20 mark, seeing himself in after a long opening stand. Great stop from Patel. You can see there's a few fielders out there where the Jersey batters just hesitate that little bit more about the chance of a single.
Yeah, absolutely, and a fine, flying Kushal Bhutal mid-wicket, doing the work for the left-arm spinner. Crucial in that area.
Googe has rotated the strike well down the ground. And it's the way he hits gaps with conviction.
Meet the brand new Wonder Shared Uni Converter 14, the all-in-one video toolbox to convert, compress, edit videos and much more.
When Googe has milled it, it has gone a long way, but what I found so impressive is when he looks for singles, he really, firmly strikes it into a gap. He hits the deep field, or he'll hit someone in the ring. And as we pause for a drinks break on 153 for one, how important is that when you're looking for young talent?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the key criteria that you want from a batting perspective is players who can rotate the strike, who are game intelligent, so they have an ability to play back foot, front foot off both fast bowlers and spinners, but also who are players who've got a little bit of power, but also the finesse of the touch cricket, so they can find the angles, they can rotate the strike, they can get in between, making really good decisions, and they look to value the wickets. But also some batters who have some acceleration in the plan as well. So these are the criteria that I would be looking for if I'm looking for a young batter. Obviously, a great point for young cricketers out here. It's not always about power, and the lads who've got power sometimes don't have the finesse, the touch cricket, the angles, and the lads who've got finesse don't always have the power. A little bit like Joe Root when he was younger.
And Patrick Googe, he's been so impressive. Sits on 71 off 87 balls. You can see Greenwood there on 20 from 31. Just the one wicket today. Harrison Carlisle falling for 56 from 80 balls. The bowling of Raj Banshi stumped well behind by Asif Sheikh. And that left them 115 for one just before the halfway mark. And now Jersey past 150 with 17 overs to go. Let's get your prediction.
Oh, prediction time. 17 overs to go. I'm still looking around the 280, 300 mark. I'm confident on the Jersey batters. They've shown some real skill. But I'm also confident that Nepal aren't just going to rest easy, and they're going to look to show a more determined finish, and they will pick up a few wickets. So there will be a little bit of a restriction. I'd love to see them go past 300 and see really put the pressure back onto the Nepal guys. But I still think that Nepal have got enough quality in the bowling lineup to restrict Jerseys to around about 270, 290, something like that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that 280 mark is what they'll aim for. There is the chance that if they go pushing for that 300, it's around 9 runs per over from here. And if these two batters just go a little bit too early, if they go too soon, all of a sudden, if it doesn't come off, we've got 2 new batters coming out for the last 15 overs.
The danger is that you leave it too late. You've got 7 overs left before the 40th over, which leaves you 60 balls effectively to get them runs. And like you say, if you're losing wickets on a regular basis, you end up falling way shorter than that. You might even get to sort of 240 mark. But you want to see how long Googe can kick in for, and Nick Greenwood supporting him as much as possible. I would love to see a flurry of runs coming through. I think spectators want it, we want it. Everybody around the world wants to see a really good score put here. But also from Nepal's point of view, they've really rung the fielders around. The bowlers have come in and everyone's had a bit of a spell. Everyone's got some quality overs in. I'd love to see Sandeep, 6 overs, none for 22. I'd love to see Sandeep coming in and finishing his 10 overs. The 2 fast bowlers will probably be coming back on. So Sampal Kami and Hemant Dami, they'll be looking to come back in and try and get some overs, as will Karan KC. The interesting for me is Lalit, who's gone for 1 for 20, who's the only one who's picked up a wicket here off his 8 overs. Maybe he can bowl out his 10 and really build some confidence up in trying to get his 10 overs. Again, it is a great day out for the boys to get some quality practice in, probably their last practice before they move on to the Netherlands for their Challenge 2 league. Be interesting to see whether they do.
Well, Lalit Rajbanshi, I think, has been a real performer today for Nepal, and he's case for a solid spot in this side. And you can see 1 for 20, going at about 2.5 runs and over. And I must say, on Monday he looked a little bit subdued. Sandeep Lamachani was landing the ball well. He took the wicket off the 2 spinners, and Rajbanshi felt like he couldn't quite get into his spell. And maybe just that short spell with the new ball that helped him get into his rhythm today, and he's looked brilliant. Here's Arif. Lofted drive, it's gone off the outside edge and run down towards the third man where Lamachani does the fielding.
Well, on the last drinks break, we had a flurry of boundaries straight after. I wonder what we're going to get over here. The one bowler who's not actually had a ball or turned his arm over yet is Dipendra, a darter who bowls very, very quick off spin.
Chance for a run out. Brilliant piece of work from Rohit Padel, the skipper. But again, more good running from the Jersey batters. And I would quite like to see Nandan Yadav get another spell under his belt. He's only bowled 2 overs today. As this is a chance out towards the backward point fielder, who's out on the boundary and ends up taking it well on the bounce. Very, very similar to how Harrison Carlisle got dismissed in the first game. That sort of rash pull shot off the top edge, caught at deep point, but not this time. But yeah, I don't think Nandan Yadav has quite been given the chance to pull off a job he can do well. Green would take the single out into the covers.
Yeah, and the danger is you don't give him any more overs, and he goes into a big tournament having had this experience and this level of outcome. As a captain, maybe even as a head coach, I'd want all my bowlers going into the big tournament fully confident that they can execute the skills. It's not been his 2 overs so far. He looked relatively easy to play, but I would like to sort of maybe just get him in a couple of more overs where he feels more confident leaving the pitch today.
Obviously it's challenging, you can't please everybody, but is the priority for Nepal for a player like Nandan Yadav, or for someone who's low on confidence, actually to really give them a solid run out on a day like this? Or, you know, now with the game situation needing a wicket, do you then prioritise that wicket taking? It's a tricky challenge.
It is a very tricky challenge, but also you're in the period of the game now where you're going to have to rely on your resources who are going to close the game out for you in a big tournament. So you can't just keep throwing the ball, you know, to everybody. I think that stage has gone now. Yeah, we're coming up to the last 15, 16 overs of the game, where the guys who are bowling at the back end of the games in their major tournament will want to practice their skills and make sure they're right as well. So the fast bowlers in Sampal Kame, Karen Casey, you know, Hemant, these guys will want to be coming back in as they did on the first game, just to sort of close out their skills and make sure that they can do the final preparations in a game situation, which is a different pressure to doing it in a net environment.
Valuable time out on the pitch for both sides here. Rajbanshi bowling his penultimate over of his spell. The pick of the bowlers so far for Nepal. In this slanted approach he has to the crease. Down the track comes Guj. I think he's hit the gap here. Yes, he has. And it's Bim Sharkey out in the deep who does some nimble work.
Hitting it with the into the breeze. Didn't really quite get hold of it. It was a bit of a clothy sort of toe sound.
Yeah, he's targeting the cow corner area. And Rajbanshi again continuing to prove hard to put away. Kushal Patel out here at long on, I reckon knows he's in the game here. with Jersey batters looking to up the ante. But again, Rajbanshi holds his line and length. The support he's getting from his skipper Rohit at cover, he's very impressed with his left arm spinner.
If there's one area of maybe a little bit of a critical observation, is that maybe they've just allowed the left arm spin to be bowled to them. I would love to see a little bit more aggression coming out, using the crease a little bit more, trying to attack the left arm spinner into out to trying to hit the vacant sort of over extra cover region, trying to hit the deep fielders a bit more often. At the moment we've seen a lot of balls that have gone into short cover, backward point, gone back to the bowler playing straight. Maybe look to manoeuvre that a little bit more.
As that ends the 35th, 159 for 1. Just building on your point there, Kaz. How challenging is it for a spin bowler when these players with spin can pull out the sweep, pull out the reverse sweep, and it feels like that shot might be what's missing from that spell of Rajbanshi from the batter's perspective.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough creativity against spin. And I think you're 100% right. It's becoming a little bit one-dimensional where you're looking to just punch off the back foot, and it can get you can get stuck with that. There needs to be a little bit more creativity. I'd love to see some sweep shots. I'd love to see some reverse sweeps, come down the track, hit over the top, maybe hit extra cover, over extra cover a little bit more. Not seen enough of that.
Beautiful cut shot, sweet timing through backward a point by young Guj. He moves to 79, and it has felt a real tactic from these batters to take on the pace and be a little bit more reserved to the spin.
Yeah, a little bit easier picking with the pace, especially at Arif's pace here. Not express. He's looking to bowl more line and length, but there's some width on offer there, and he's just crashed into that.
Here he goes again, but this time deep point has been brought round. Bim Sharkey doing the work out there. We saw a lot of Nepal boundaries on Monday go through backward a point. And I think what they've done well is they have maintained deep point relatively square. The top edge on a slashing cut is running out towards Lamachani out in the deep. But actually, especially later on the innings, we've seen very few boundaries go through extra cover area, and it's absolutely right to have the deep fielder out in the offside, the sweeper as such, relatively square, maybe even behind square, because of the pace off this wicket.
Yeah, absolutely, and also because of where the ball is being pitched by the bowlers, just slightly back of the length, the cut shots becoming easier, and the fact that they haven't got a man on point, they've got a guy really behind Kushal who's sort of in between, sort of deep backward if you like, and then you've got a point who's also behind trying to cut out that boundary option. I would love to see a guy on point and a guy at deep backward just to sort of cut that option out. Half chances are coming in, and they're not hitting them along the ground. They're aerial shots, so they are half chances. Beautiful shot.
Small punching off the back foot. Bim Sharkey's had a lot of work to do out there. He falls slightly awkwardly, but there's some terrific work out there in the deep. Prevents the boundary. So now as we approach the end of this first innings, with the bowlers likely to come back on and bowl some pace, we do have Sandeep Lamachani doing some warming up. What would you love to see, especially the pace bowlers, when Jersey start coming at them? What do you want to see both the fielding side do plan-wise, and what do you want the pace bowlers to start doing?
I'm actually crying out for some variation.
Yeah.
I would love to see on this pitch, I'm pretty sure the Jersey boys will do this, I would love to see some variation. I know they're going to hold length, which is fine, but I would love to see pace taken off, cutters wideish Yorkers at a straight line, slow ball bounces, just really to change the timing gap of the batters. Not seen enough of that. Everything seems to be with pace on at the moment, and I think now being the second day of this pitch, it really requires somebody to just be confident and strong enough to bowl some different variations.
There's the sweep shot. First time we've seen it today. It's gone for 6. And Patrick Googe, for the first time of the day, he tried a reverse sweep earlier on and then seemed to put it away. And it's the one thing you said, isn't it, Kasim, about how the batters just slightly have let Rajbanshi bowl to them.
Yeah, and the interesting point was that it was slightly flightier, a little bit more slower in the air, so it's allowed him to sort of, and a little bit fuller, which was the key thing here. But boy, did he hit that hard. He's got into a really good position, strong, solid head position going down the line, fast hands coming through, down to up, which has allowed the trajectory to go over the boundary. What a fantastic cricket shot.
I feel like Googe is on a mission here just to slightly ruin Rajbanshi's figures.
Might need a couple more sixes, I reckon, to do that. I would take 1 for 27 off 10.
But yeah, it's felt like a relatively timid first 36 overs, and no team has opted to take control of the game, and it means this whole innings, how we look back on it after 50 overs, is going to be completely down to what happens in the last 13.
Yeah, and often you kind of want to build up for the last 12, 13, 14 overs, where you've got a really good platform at 176, which Jersey have, and you've got wickets in the 10th, so they've got 2 major milestones in their favour. It's about now how the ladders on
An outside edge with a drive across the line. Googe comes back for 2.
or just saying Patrick, who's on 86, who now moves to 82 with that 2 to 45 area in the offside. You want to now see him kicking on. He's getting to that 40th over now. You want to see him kicking on now. He's had his time where he's nudged and nurdled around and sort of got some support from Nick Greenwood, who's on 28 or 41. Both of these two guys can now accelerate and leave, 13 overs. I would love to see flurry of runs, maybe get 100 or 13 overs. That would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Well, it's up to these two now to plan ahead. They'll definitely be having these discussions, won't they? They'll be saying, let's get to 40. Or maybe they'll just be thinking, maybe it's time now to kick on. Sampal Kami then. Got a good spell early doors. Just the 3 overs, a short one before Rajbanshi took over. It's a swap of ends for Sampal Kami. And we've seen more success from with the pace over the last few days. And this might almost just now be a sign to the batters. Pace is on. It's the closing stages. Do they take it on now? An absolute cracker. You can't play those.
You can't. Snort them, but you can't play them.
Well, welcome back to the attack, Sampal Kami. That'll give him a huge confidence boost as he runs in from the edge of the ring now. Greenwood gets on top of it well, plays it well into the leg side. And Rajbanshi lets the ball go through. The fans from Nepal are trying to cheer on their team till the end. How I would describe it is a little bit more Jersey support, but a little bit less Nepal support, is how I put it.
Definitely. But the Jersey fans have been fantastic so far. They've really trickled in. Got the beverages of choice in their hand as they find their spot. around the ground.
And a real change of dynamic as Cammy does come onto the bowling. It's been an educated crowd, isn't it? You know, I always love it when a shot which a proper cricket fan understands and appreciates brings about a ripple of applause.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure they've seen some really good days here supporting Jersey over the past few years.
Googe on 88. A milestone on the horizon for this 23-year-old opening batter. But he's also got a bigger job to do, which is take Jersey up towards a total which could be beyond Nepal's sight. In at the stumps from Cammy, who's already changed the feeling of this game. And if the Jersey batters were thinking about a wait until a return to pace to then start upping the run rate, Cammy is showing that that is going to be more challenging than it might seem.
Yeah, he's bowled well, hasn't he, in his first over. In his second spell, he's come back. He's only gone for the 2 singles. Looked to bowl hard length, looked to bowl into the pitch.
Greenwood picks it up. Fielder at deep squares running after it. Couple of bounces and a great stop. He didn't put in the dive, but did exactly what he had to do the work. And it's Arjun Kumal out there who saves the 1 extra run, and Greenwood gets through to 3. So that's the end of the over. 183 for 1. Just the 12 overs to go now, and 10 runs and over would take them just over the 300 mark. If they get there, it'd be a brilliant result for Jersey. But anything under 275 would feel like they probably could have gone harder.
Yeah, and just proceedings have gone a little bit harder with the main man, Sandeep Lemachani, coming on from the pavilion end. Did get a bit of success the other night from this end. Be interesting to see how well the Jersey batters look to combat the googly from this end, hitting into the wind, which me personally, I would have liked to have seen him start from this end. But I definitely think it's going to be an exciting last 12 if they're going to get up to that 300 mark.
Sweep shot, top edge. Sharky's in the game. Brilliant diving catch. Judged it to perfection. And Nick Greenwood knew it was approaching the time where he'd have to start cracking on. And he opted to take on the first ball from Lamashani, who ends up having the last laugh. He gets his first wicket of the day. Nick Greenwood has to go for a well-made 32 from 44. Jersey now 183 for 2. And now, Jersey have got an interesting task ahead.
They have, and I just called it just literally seconds before. I always thought coming on from this side, Sandeep would have been in a better position. Obviously, batters hitting into the wind. He's got some excellent fielders out there. Bim has done the hard work there to really support his bowler. But I always thought it's going to be an interesting last 12 overs now with the main man himself coming on. Got a new batter approaching.
Here comes that try. And maybe, just maybe, do you think we're getting signs that it is quite a hard pitch to click up, really start to get aggressive on? Do you think that maybe the two-pace aspect of this pitch is making it a little bit challenging?
Possibly, and which is why I'm asking for more variations for the fast bowlers. Not just about going to hard length.
Yeah.
So you can see it's two-pace. You can see, the signs are there that it's difficult, that the ball isn't always coming onto the pitch. But you can also see that, giving different variations, giving different opportunities for the bowlers to bowl different lengths, but also bringing on some different variations to help change the context of the timing element. Really does help, and it makes it harder for the batters to score their runs. So I don't think they've gone early enough in my perspective.
Now it's time for Zach Tribe to settle into his innings, and it's going to just be a case of how long will it take for him to be able to get into a position to kick on. But there's still time left in this game. Slowing drive, played and missed.
Big leg spinner there from Sandeep Lemachani. He's got the ability to turn the ball both sides past the edge. And he'll just be weighing up a tactical plan against Zach Tribe here. They're trying to set him up for his googly.
Good. Running to the danger end. And gets home safely. I'm a big fan of how Lamachani approaches the crease. You get some spinners that really amble up slowly. Lamachani gets to the wicket with pace. The spinner really gets pace behind the ball.
Yeah, and again, a little bit of a learning point here. Coaching tip for young spinners who are trying to get into the game. Leg spin is never easy, so you're always going to go for runs, so you have to be patient. The other things you can affect from a leg spin point of view is your approach, is the energy at the crease, is how quickly you get on off the back foot into the front foot, the energy going into your delivery. Your release points always are affected by, you know, where you are at the crease, at the release element. But it also allows you to get through the action quicker, which means your trajectory at this level, white ball cricket, it's not test match where you can float it up a little bit more.
Now Sompal Kami. Ramp attempt from Gooj. The shot's on with short fine leg in the circle. And now he's in the 90s. He's really going to be thinking whether he can start to push on during this period. Under 11 overs to go. Pulled high, top edge. Lamachani running in, ends up receiving it just on the half volley, almost in his chest. But Gooj showing signs that he's willing to crack on regardless of the looming milestone. Selfless batting.
Yeah, wide, short delivery, tucked into that, but again he's hitting into the wind. Lamachani not quite getting there as quickly as the bowler would have liked. Half a chance going up in the air, caught it off the one bounce.
Zach Tribe looks so calm out there. So calm. He knows he's got time. He knows it would be a poor decision just to instantly start playing with ultra aggression when there is this much time left. It's a real balanced jersey. You've got to strike here. They're approaching the 200 mark. Still 2 wickets down. We're 3 balls away from the 10 overs to go point. Back of a length. Just picked up with a little bit extra bounce from Sompal Kami. And this man's going to be an extra challenge for the Jersey batters. Only gone for 14 runs. from his 28 balls. Wow. Brilliant shot from Tribe. And it's gone all the way. Pounced on the short pitch ball from Sonpal Kami, trusted the deck, and clubbed it away for 6 runs, sorry.
Yeah, contrast difference for the ball before. Obviously the ball before was a little bit shorter with a bit more pace, a little bit more height, sort of helmet height. Whereas this one hasn't really got up, has allowed Zach Tribe to pull the ball towards the cow corner, and he did get a large chunk of it out the middle of the bat. Sailed over for another 6 in this game. Fantastic batting, and maybe that's a sign.
Good length from Kami, and Tribe treating it with respect. There ends the 40th over. Jersey in a good position. 8 short of the 200 mark, 192 for 2, 10 overs to go. They'll be looking to go in total for these last 10. If they can get them away for 100 and get to 290, that'd be an excellent result.
Yeah, it will be. 60 balls. You'd want to say that you're going to try and target around the 75 run mark. Kind of gets you up to that 260, 270 mark. If they can have a decent over where they can get a 15 or a 20, the 280, 285, 290 is on. But again, Sandeep's still got another 3 overs left. I think 2 after this one.
It's very easy, isn't it, to say 100 from the last 10 overs, but when you've got bowlers of Lamachani's calibre, as mentioned, with 3 of those 10 left to go, makes the ordeal a little bit more challenging. This looks like buys. Gouge goes for a big swing. Almost called him Goujon there. I'm getting hungry, Kaz. We're approaching the break, which comes at 2:30. It's a fixed point in time, so if the 50 overs isn't done by that point, then a break will be taken. Zach Tribe really getting his front foot out to the ball, get through to a good single there, do Jersey. Thumbs up from Gouge. Zach Tribe is certainly a player who can bat at a good rate and seal an innings. I'm thinking of his not out 54 in the final of the sub-regional European qualifiers. Reverse sweep goes just over backward point. So Gouge moves to 95 with an unorthodox stroke. He manages to get away with it, but don't let that take away the brilliance of the timing. 198 for 2 now, Jersey.
Excellent cricket shot, and something we called out a little bit earlier on. Be inventive against the spin. We saw a conventional slog sweep out towards the leg side earlier on from Gouge, 6 runs, and now we've seen something even more brilliant to get it out to the offside.
Down the track, could this be the moment? The fielder's in the question. Sharkey takes the catch. The gorgeous innings comes to an end. He gets a shake of the hands with Lamachani, the bowler. And Patrick Gouge falls 5 runs short from a maiden international ton. He can't quite believe it, but he was doing the task for the team. He wanted to up the ante. There was 10 overs to go. And he wanted to do the job that his team so desperately needed him to, which was up the run rate. And now as he walks off to a standing ovation here at Grainville, appreciates the crowd, takes off his lid. And a brilliant innings of 95 comes to an end, and he's put Jersey into a terrific position to go on and claim the last 10 overs.
Yeah, absolutely. And credit goes to the young man, 23 years of age, 95 off 110 balls, fantastic striking. If anything, he's just got under it too early. Just got under it too early. Hitting into, obviously, the breeze. Fielders out in the deep. I always said Sandeep coming on from this end is going to be a little bit more challenging. If anything, I would probably have liked to see him gone out, inside out, probably trying to target the offside a little bit more. But credit where credit's due. What a fantastic innings, and really put a platform up for Jersey.
Now it's up to the middle order. It'd be good after this over just to get your thoughts on how difficult it is for middle order batters in white ball games to come in with the pressure of needing to score quickly early on in your innings.
Well, judging by that first ball, Jonty's definitely not leaving that one, is he? After his little experience on Monday, he's made sure he's hit the middle of the bat. But yeah, I mean, the danger is that middle order batsmen come in and it's hard for them to get into this wicket. As coaches, we always say that if you're in, go on and get a daddy 100, go on and get a big 100, go on and get a big score, and get players working around you. What's actually happened now is, relatively, you've got two new batters in at the crease in a time where the team needs to kick on, and they need a bit of an acceleration. So they're going to have to do this quite quickly and then look to sort of really get over, as we see the 41st over complete, and Jersey get over to 201 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Yep, just over the 200 mark, and a man that I've been asking to give an extra go to. Nandan Yadav, after a couple of overs went for 14, he was having a tricky time bowling the short ball ploy, which isn't really his style. And now he's got a chance here to take a couple of wickets and really start to pile the pressure on Jersey. That one swings into Jonty Jenner. Good delivery from Yadav. Well backed up. And with 9 overs to go, you've got to feel again just to come back to the target Jersey want to set. 290 would be a very good result.
Yeah, it would be an excellent result. I'm slightly curious as to Sampal bowling 1 over from that end and then coming back off again. I'm not sure what the thought process was there.
I think he might have had 2, maybe 3. I think it's because it was tricky, because it was split by the drinks break. I think it might have been shown to just almost as if it didn't look like he bowled quite as many. But yeah, you're right. It's a very short spell for Cammy. There's been a couple of those for him today. A couple of short, sharp spells where he's maintained pace. That Tribe dropping it into the offside. He knows his role here. He's just going to try and keep the scoreboard ticking. I reckon Tribe will try and be there at the end, and players are going to come in and play around him. But it's also shown that he's got the ability to hit the big shot.
I think at this stage, every batter who's coming in, they've got a big shot in them. A boundary ball in and ability to accelerate. I think the key thing is finding the right ball as often as possible in order to manufacture a boundary option.
Back of a length, it's just come off the glove. And it's run away down to third man. I'm pleased I got my fielding on camera there. Good work from the man over at deep cover. I was a little bit worried. You see I pulled out the long barrier down? I almost ripped my trousers.
I heard a noise. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I think you got assisted by the boundary rope nicely.
I was worried for a minute. I've got a bit of a story actually. I've got a scar on my face actually, just above my lip, and it came from hockey, and I wasn't actually playing. Oh, the spectator.
The plot thickens.
Slashing cut shot. Brilliant from Jonty Jenner. He threw the hands at a wide short one from Nandan Yadav and gets 4. Jersey moves to 211 for 3. And this over's gone for 10 already. And yes, I was actually watching my brother at the time. And at some Astro hockey pitches, you get a thin walkway of concrete around the Astro, which is about probably a centimetre raised from the Astro, like a curb. And I went to put my foot out, it was really coming at some pace, and hit the curb, popped up and hit me in the face. Somehow didn't break any of my teeth, but it's given me a scar between nose and mouth. Jonty Jenner tries a cute cut down towards
Is it sounds like not only a physical scar but a mental scar as well.
I've never gone to watch hockey since.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
That's why I'm here, really. So whenever I'm watching any game of sport, I always feel a little bit like I'm fine when I'm playing. I'll dive around everywhere, but it's just when I'm watching, I'm not willing to take the embarrassment again of having to go to hospital from being a spectator.
I noticed how you didn't quite get to the boundary rope. You were well away from the boundary rope, which is. But you went down really well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Nimble. Did you not expect it?
I just thought you were gonna flick it up with your suede shoes on and send it back. I wasn't expecting a long barrier to come out. That's for sure.
Oh, you gotta do it technically right. You see, I was on camera there. Now, I'm not gonna show off the wrong skills. That ends the 42nd over, 212 for 3.
I would love to see a repeat of this long barrier.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to see a repeat of me getting hit in the face with a hockey ball. I didn't know. I was worried how to take that. You want to see the long barrier, do you?
I'd love to see that. I'm sure the spectators around the world would love to see that as well. We can analyse
Oh
it.
no, here we go.
Very good. I was just trying to get a bigger split in the trousers.
No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You see how I just, really got my head in line with that back thigh there for the perfect long barrier. I'm doing your job here, Kaz.
Doing well. You're doing well.
Cut away with power. It's beat the fielder, so it's going to take some stopping. It's good work out there in the deep. And it will just be a single. Shows how well Kumal covered the ground at deep cover.
Misfield from Captain Roy there, number 17.
I tell you what he needed to do, Kaz. He needed the long barrier, didn't he? All the way, this is the chance. Oh! Beat him on the half volley. Ishan Pandey. He's gone for the dive. It's the point in the game where a wicket would be so important to try and limit Jersey to a lower total, and he's gone after it. And that's the risk you can take with those ones.
In my opinion, he's made an absolute meal out of it. He didn't really run in as quick as I would probably have liked. Half an attempt of a dive, and it's fallen just short of it. So yeah, maybe a little bit more intensity in the field from Ishan could have made a difference there.
Well, careful, he's not far away, Kaz.
Good critical feedback.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, maybe if he went out with a little bit more aggression, he could have got their challenging chance there. And Tribe tries to carve it away through backward a point. Good diving stop. It's a nice brisk day here at Grainville. Not too warm, not too cold, gentle breeze across the ground. But when the sun does get out, it can be a little bit hot out there in the sunshine. But a good day for cricket, a good day for a tussle between bat and ball, which is what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and two good teams on shore here. Jersey, the home side. Obviously the crowd coming out in their numbers to support the home team, and also the visiting team for this DFDS Summer Series. Nepal with some quality cricketers fresh off the experience of the T20 World Cup, where they have really put themselves on the map across the global stage. They've done really well.
They certainly have, and Jersey remaining resolute as they look to push past the 250, 275, 290, maybe even knock on the 300 door.
7 overs, 83 required to get to the 300 mark. Takes some doing with relatively two new batters in at the crease. But with pace on, could be an interesting choice.
There's some good running and potential of a third. He could bring about a chance. Good running though. Zach Tribe alert enough to take the third run after the ball hits the stumps of the non-strikers. 220 for 3 now.
And a change up in the delivery. That was a slow ball. You can see how the batters miscued that, and I think on this surface they haven't done it for long periods. They haven't done it enough. Almost made it too easy by bowling pace on with width on offer.
Try backing away, can't get a hold of it, and it's this point, isn't it? Over 43, 7 overs to go, still got 7 wickets in hand, and this is the time to go, which is what we're seeing now from the two batters. Some big swings and well, brilliant run between the wickets.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all from the two batters. They've got themselves relatively in. They're seeing it now really well. Zach Tribe on 13 off his 16. Jonty Jenner 17 off 9 balls. Nandan Yadav coming in for his third delivery off his 4th over.
Finally played. It's coming down again. I might have to put up the long barrier, but no, Sandeep Lamachani's going to do it for me. And it's just a couple more runs. 2, 2, 2, 3. And they're playing it well, these two. Again, they've got set quickly, which is so crucial for the mid-order batters. Look at that from Jonty Jenner, 17 off 9. Hasn't needed any time to score with pace. Zach Tribe, slightly different approach. But there's definitely going to be some big swings to come. You know what, I'm going to say it now. Jersey to get past 300. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, this is almost bold there, Zach Tribe. Is that a bold call, 300?
Confident prediction, that, Charlie. And I don't mind that at all. And it's definitely doable. The danger is that you continuously get wickets. I mean, if these two are in, yeah, for sure.
And it's definitely going to be a part in the game. But you can't take your eyes off the screen. 4 more. Well-timed pull shot from Zach Tribe, just helping it on its way. He hasn't tried to bludgeon it to the boundary, more help it on its way. And it's going to be 4 more, moving Jersey to 226 now.
Again, question around the pace of the delivery at the back end of the game. You're actually helping the batters on to try and hit the ball to the boundary by putting pace on. Just not sure they've switched onto that as quickly as possible.
Manyanov. Still got a point to prove today. It's been expensive in his spell so far. Can he take a wicket? It's a dot ball to end. 9 runs from the over. 226 for 3, Jersey. And you just motion there, Kaz. Let's have a look at the batters left to come. We've got Charlie Brennan, who made a brilliant half-century in challenging circumstances for Jersey on Monday. Julius Samaroa, yes, he made a golden duck on Monday. However, he's got long levers. He can hit a long ball. Benjamin Ward, Blom P as well. He wasn't here on Monday. He's going to come in for the first time. He'll be at number 9. Scott Van Breda, also not here on Monday. He's at number 10. And Jake Dunford down at number 11. So the man who made 41, Daniel Birrell, not in the batting 11. A firm drive brings an outside edge from Jonty Jenner. It's safe though. It's a short third. And Lamichhane is doing excellent work. And it's almost expected of the great bowler. Reverse sweep. Mistimed. Chance for a run out again. It's a direct hit. An umpire shakes his head and they're going to get through to some overthrows. Again, more alert running. The Jersey teammates are applauding that with plenty of applause. Lamichhane approaches. Short, pounced on. 6 more for Jonty Jenner. Skips up the ramp and away for 6. He pounced on short length early from Lamichhane and puts it away. 234 for 3 now. 300 on the horizon.
Fantastic cricket shot from Jonty Jenner, who moves on to 25 of 12 balls. I've got a feeling he's the guy who Jersey might be looking to try and really get a quick fire 50 maybe off 25, 30 balls.
That'd be big.
Yeah, and you need a, 1 or 2 batters like that who can strike at 150, 170, 180, 200 just to get you over sort of the 300 mark.
With these two playing the perfect middle order role. The tricky task of getting started quickly. They're doing well. Zach tried more of a rotational player at the minute, and Jonty Jenner putting balls away to the boundary. This is going to land safely beyond the bowler's arm. And Karan gets in with a good throw, but Jonty Jenner's back for 2. So 237 for 3 now. 1 ball left in Lamichhane's 10. 2 for 48. He's bowled well and batters have played him well. And a singles that end out his spell with an over that goes for 12. 2 for 49 from Lamichhane's 10. How do you reckon he'll feel after that performance?
Yeah, fantastic 10 overs. I don't mind him leaking a few runs. I think he's doing really well. He's picked up with 2 wickets bowling from the right end. Probably could have started from this end as well. But overall, just slowed the run rate down. The acceleration has been slowed down from Jersey's perspective, and I think he's done really, really well. Got to back up his bowling now for the last 5 overs inside the boundary rope, fielding down at 3rd man over here, but he's done really, really well.
Hemant Dami. The strike bowler from game 1. Can he strike in game 2? Helped on its way, brilliant shot. Gets down on one knee, Zach Tribe, and whips it over his shoulder for 4. Such a talented shot that from Zach Tribe. And now Dami straight back onto the bowling, and he's been put away for 4 first up.
I'm sure his brother's watching eagerly from outside, applauding the innovation that's come from that shot. It's a cracking, cricketing shot. As we have a change in the field, Sandeep coming in into short third man.
Short ball, and Zach Tribe might have just hit the gap again. Back-to-back boundaries. Jersey to 246 for 3. And bringing back a lovely cheer from this crowd here at Grangor.
I think this is the over where I think you're looking at the 15 to 20 mark. If you can get that over the line here, that's going to really push on Jersey now to that 300 mark. But you, as a team, you're always looking for one bowler to come on who can give you a little bit of pace towards the back end, which these two deliveries have definitely been. But also where you can get a 15, maybe a 20 injection into the run setting period.
Slower ball, clubbed over cover. And you could tell that was going to happen just because of third man and fine leg coming in the circle. It was time maybe for Dami to take off a bit of pace, and Zach Tribe's read it well. He's hit it over cover for 4, and it's the 250 up for Jersey, 3 4s in a row. Welcome back, Haman Dami.
12 already off this over. Got another 3 balls to go. Lots of discussion going on here from captain. Sampal Kami also coming to consult in terms of what needs to be done. Got a change of field. Lots of discussions happening with the bowler. Nandan Yadav also chipping in with a bit of advice. I'm not sure what he's going to offer there, having gone for 40 odd himself. But it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is here, because this could be that over where you get the 15-20. Already 12 off the 3 balls.
Can Zach Tribe make him pay again? Runs it away down to third. Great diving stop from Lamachani. That feels like a big moment.
Feels like a huge moment. Huge moment. 13 runs off so far. An inch either side. I think a little bit to the left. That have gone for 4 as well. Done really well there has Sandeep Lamachani there, who's now been asked to go back down to third man position with mid-off coming up.
Slapped up to long on by Jenner. Thoughts about the 2, but just a single with 1 ball left in the over. Do you feel like this is again feels a half point, but with 14 from it, does this feel like a ball to try and make it 20, or does it feel like a ball just to get out of the over and with a single?
No, 100%. Make it 20. Absolutely.
Well, the intent was there, but it will just be a single.
So 15 off this over. I think he's just slightly missed that, but credit to the bowler after the first 3 balls to come back for 3 singles to finish off that over. He was under some severe pressure in the first 3 balls. And it just goes to show how vital and valuable that stop from Sandeep at short third man. He's thrown out the left claw. Seems to have stopped the run flow as we have another change of bowling from the pavilion end with Sandeep completing his 10 overs. Karan KC will be coming on 253 for 3 or 46 overs. Where's your predictions? Are we still on?
Still on 300.
Still on the 300 mark?
Still there. So just a quick recap as we go into the final 4 overs. Jersey had a brilliant first wicket stand of 115 before Carline fell on 56. Top quality opening partnership. Second wicket was in the 39th over. Greenwood falling for 32 from 45, and then it was the main man, Patrick Googe, who fell for 110 ball 95. Just 5 runs short of that maiden international ton for his nation. And now we get to the current moment in time. 4 overs to go. Jersey, 147. Here's Karan. The drive is mistimed up towards long on. Jenna's thinking about the 2, but Zach Tribe understands. There'll only be a 1 there. 2-5-4 for 3.
Good start from Karan. At this stage, singles is fine. Just want to limit the boundary options as much as possible. It's been an excellent display of batting from the Jersey boys. 254 for 3.
Karan KC cleared up the tail on Monday. Huge swing. Fielder interested. Gone. Solid take out, a deep backward point. Jonty Jenner, a fiery cameo comes to an end. 27 off 15 balls he made, doing his job for the team. But now, with 23 balls left in this innings, it's going to be up to Charlie Brennan to propel Jersey to a competitive total.
And the added factor of the left and right hand combination coming in. Fantastic innings there from Jonty Jenner, who's done exactly what the team required. Don't mind the intent being shown there. Was looking at the vacant area just at the backward point region, but unfortunately found the fielder out in the deep. But once again, Karan Casey comes on and strikes towards the back end, breaking the partnership.
So Karan Casey is now in the wickets as Jonty Jenner gets out with that slashing cut shot. And it's up to left-hander Charlie Brennan to get Jersey over the line in the closing stages of the second one-dayer. Nice start from Charlie Brennan. With a whip of the wrist, sign of a man in form. Here's a question for you. One for those at home as well. What do you reckon is the current percentages for chances to win?
Current percentages for a chance to win.
Yes, it's quite a tricky point in the game, isn't it, to answer this question, but
Yeah, I think 20 overs too early to ask this game.
it's because it's too tricky.
At this current stage, yeah, I would definitely have Jersey almost just 70-30, 60-40 maybe. But then with the large support coming from India and Nepal, I'm sure they only see one winner, regardless of what Jersey go and get. Sitting on the fence there a little bit. I don't know if that's answered your question, but am I right?
just about the 50-50 mark,
Oh, so
which I think shows how well Jersey have done
Yeah.
to get to that 50-50 mark. You're not far away there, Kaz. Swatted towards Cow Corner, entering the deep pocket where it's retrieved. A couple more runs. And I reckon if this ball goes through a boundary, it'd be a huge boost for Jersey. And a kick in the teeth for Nepal. It feels like that over, doesn't it? A wicket's gone from it. It's been great pressure building. 1 wicket, 1-2-2. If this ball goes for a boundary, it's going to be a big momentum swing, I feel.
pressure ball this.
Zach Tribe, the man in form on strike.
How balled? How balled?
Oh, that would have been out. It looked as if Zach Tribe last minute had to jump around the bowler.
And a great bit of sportsmanship there from Karen Casey, fist pumping Zach Tribe there, who's probably acknowledged the fact that he's had to jump around him to get in under pressure. Quality bit of sportsmanship there.
So the 4th wicket falling in the 47th over. Jonty Jenner falling for a well-made 27. And the 3 overs to go, 18 balls. Yes, 40 feels like a big ask, but with Zach Tribe on strike, Charlie Brennan in form, it's definitely on the cards.
40 off 18 in any practice situation, you'd take that on. You'd give it a go. Practice situation, you'd take that on. You'd give it a go.